And welcome on, Sara.
Thanks.
So big round of applause to our first speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello. Thank you, everyone, for coming. So I'm going to be talking about Scientology. It's completely fascinating, and you're only going to get a little snippet of it this evening. So I apologize for the really brief and not deep introduction, but it's a really fascinating world. And I am not a Scientologist. I would like to put that out there because that seems to be a question that's been happening. So why do I care about Scientology? So many reasons. Mainly, it seems to be working for some people. I'm curious why that is. In general, regarding faith, it's basically, for me, do no harm, let people choose their own path unpressured. So I think Scientology is fantastic because it completely pressures you, and there seems to be a lot of harm. So I feel like this is the perfect thing to talk about. So what is Scientology? It offers you a precise path to spiritual enlightenment. So basically, you don't need to kind of think about it too much. You just do the auditing and you're like right up there. You're good to go. So brief history of Scientology. It's founded by a science fiction writer, L. Ron Hubbard, known henceforth as LRH. It was incorporated as a religion in New Jersey, my place of birth. And in 1986, L. Ron Hubbard dies and David Miscavige takes over. So who is this L. Ron Hubbard, you might ask? That's him, stately fellow. He was born in Tilden, Nebraska, another place I have lived. Thank you, Scientology. He spent time in the military. He was a prolific writer. He wrote over 5,000 pieces and was a major science fiction nerd. And who is this lovely gentleman? He is now the head of the Scientology Church. His name is David Miscavige. He worked as a cameraman for L. Ron Hubbard, and he is best friends with Tom Cruise. So you might have seen him with our little friend around. He's also kind of a bad guy, but we'll talk about that later. So if any of you have been to Florida or California, there's a chance you've seen these beautiful edifices. There's allegedly between the Church of Scientology says there's 20 million members. The actual number is around 20,000. I'm serious. So, oh crap. Okay, so there's two practices as part of Scientology. One is auditing. You can see there the E-meter. So you hold those two tubes and you answer questions like, do you have deep problems? And there's like the scale there goes back and forth, and like inevitably you have serious problems and you need more auditing. So you're asked more questions. The second practice is training. So you go to the Scientology Center, you read, you listen to L. Ron Hubbard's teachings, and somebody comes around and they ask you if you really understand about Scientology. And probably you do not, because then you will pay for more courses to understand it more. It's pretty smart. So what are some religious principles? Thetans, these are fantastic. So it's basically the spiritual body. So Thetans can either be kind of like hanging out around you, or they can be in your brain. And you know, they can either be harmful or helpful to elevate you to the next level of spirituality. All right, next one, going clear. So one of the things you get through auditing is you get to this higher plane of being where you're controlling your actions, your body, everything, and that's going clear. You're not reacting to things, you're kind of above it, so you have a clear mind. And that you get through. Okay, we're moving right along. So some other religious principles, the operating Thetans, it's an even higher level than going clear. So you go clear and then you start in the operating Thetans level. It's a really powerful level. There's about 15 of them, and when you reach operating Thetan 3, you'll learn about XENU, obviously. So XENU is the galactic dictator of the Galactic Confederacy. He came to Earth, known as Tigiak, about 75 billion years ago, and killed a bunch of Thetans. And they now hold on to people and cause spiritual harm. Those are the bad Thetans. There's also a thing you can join called Sea Org if you're super dedicated. You sign a billion-year contract. It's the private naval force for the Scientology folks. And if you're not able to get to XENU, this will help you get through because there's no other distractions. You're basically an indentured servant. So anyway, controversy. This guy, David Miscavige, he's kind of a disaster. His wife has been missing since 2007. No one seems to notice. She just hasn't been around. He's apparently beat his staff, various other misappropriation of finances. He's a delight. Also, there's espionage, really causing problems with a variety of different groups. Also, the war on psychiatry. This is the Psychiatry and Industry of Death Museum. That's not a joke. I did not make up that slide. If you're interested, you can visit California to learn about how psychiatry is killing everyone. So other stuff that's really fun about Scientology, suppressive persons. If you say bad things about Scientology, you become a suppressive person. Dead agenting is where you attack the attacker. That's pretty obvious. The whole is a series of double wide trailers that they throw high-level people in if they do something bad and say stuff against Scientology. They think that's probably where Shelley Miscavige is. Anyway, these are some famous Scientologists. Please note Charles Manson in the center square. Also some random D-listers and John Travolta, Tom Cruise, the person from Orange is the New Black there, Laura Prepon. I thought you were smarter than that. Anyway, so just as a real freaky little thing, I found out just last year that my cousin is really high up in the Scientology church, and she's Katie Holmes' minder, which means that she follows Katie Holmes around to make when she was married to Tom Cruise and make sure she doesn't say anything against Scientology, my cousin. So that happened, and please, this was like the most cursory view of Scientology in the world. So please read, watch, learn more. It's really, 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 really fascinating. And I can't say enough about it, and 6 minutes just isn't enough. But I want to thank everyone, and I want to thank Transitions folks for coming here to support me as well. So thanks.